Do I look into the camera or look at you? Okay.
Okay, Aine Donegan, 3 under 69, and here it is, your first professional major, and you have an eagle early on in the round. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I started off a little bit nervy. I was actually doing well to be 2 over through 4 holes. Made 2 good up and downs on my 3rd and 4th hole, and then I hit a driver down 15, and I had about 96 to the pin, and my coach said just play it a little bit right at the pin. It all kind of feeds down, and it's an easier putt up the hill then. And I hit this shot, and I knew it was going to be good. And then it bounces and kind of spins back, and it just drops in. And I've my family here and a few other Irish over here who live in the United States, and big scream from all the Irish people. And it was kind of just one of those things that then I'm back to even, and we just start again really. And that kind of made me a bit more comfortable, and I was really, really pleased with it.
And then you also picked up a birdie on the iconic 17th hole. I don't know how much history you know about that hole, but to birdie there is pretty special.
Yeah, it was a little against the wind, and I knew I had about 172, I think it was, to carry the bunker. So I just said to my coach and my caddy, I said, I'll hit 4-iron, and couldn't have hit it better, just right at the pin, and then we actually thought at one stage it might go in as well, but I hit it to about 2 feet and just tapped that in for a birdie. So that was nice then to kind of close out my front 9 under par.
And then when you made the turn, you got on a run there where you birdied 3 holes in a row. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I bogeyed the first hole. My 10th hole missed a short enough 5-foot putt, and my coach just said, just regroup. We've par 5 coming up. And I made about a 15-footer down the hill for a birdie there. And then the 3rd hole here has, since the first time I played it, I kind of like it. It kind of suits my eye. So I kind of smashed my driver down over the tree on the left, and it ended up in the fairway, and I only had about 110 to the flag then, and made another about a 15-footer. And then after that, the short. It's actually funny because on the 3 holes that I birdied in a row, I had the exact same yardage to the flag on all 3, pretty much within 1 or 2 yards. So I said that to my caddy after. I goes, well, that's my new favourite yardage. But yeah, so the 3 in a row, and then I was really comfortable, and I had a good feeling where my ball was going to go all day, which is a great feeling to have. It's not one you get a lot in golf. And honestly, the hole out helped because it made me very comfortable, and it's at the end of the day, this is just another tournament. It's on an iconic place, and that's my main thing, was to come out here and enjoy it. And luckily for me today, everything seemed to fall the right way.
Where would you rank this round in all the golf that you've played so far in your life?
Definitely the top, no doubt about it. Especially, it wouldn't be the first. Let's just say it wouldn't be the first time I've started bogey, but for me to come back then and finish how I finished and play the rest of the round how I finished, I'm really proud of myself for that, and I'm really looking forward to tomorrow.
Well, let's open up to questions, and we have a young junior reporter has one question for you.
Hi. I've been here for the past few days, and I've seen everyone having so much fun. As things get more serious, how will you plan to continue to have fun and focus on playing your best?
That's a great question. Just enjoy it, look at the view, look at all the people out here watching, supporting women's golf, and for such a big tournament to be played at such a big place, it would be difficult not to enjoy it out here. It's important not to take things too seriously around here. And luckily for me, I didn't today, and it kind of goes the right way when you're making sure you enjoy it and you're having fun at the same time.
Thank you. Kent?
You had some club issues coming into the week. Could you walk through what happened with that and how you ended up getting replacements?
Yeah, so I had a team event last week in Scotland for Great Britain and Ireland. So I flew from Scotland on Sunday morning at about 4 a.m. from Scotland to Dublin, and then Dublin to Newark, and then Newark to San Francisco. And when I arrived in San Francisco, the clubs hadn't arrived. And we were traveling about at least 30 hours by then. So they told us at the airport, they're going to come the next day, and they didn't end up coming. So I sent a tweet out, and it kind of made a few headlines. And then eventually they arrived, but I had to play my first practice round with the Ping Club. Scott from Ping helped me out. So full Ping set, and I play Ping irons. So that helped anyways, and that particular practice round I started to hit the driver really well, and I said it to my caddy, who's also my coach, Gary. I said, I might change to this driver for the week, and he said, we're going to have a bit of a dilemma when your clubs do arrive. So anyways, the clubs arrive the next day, I think on Tuesday, and my driver's smashed, completely smashed, and at least it stopped us, thinking, which driver will we use? We only had one choice then, and so I put that in, and honestly, I'm delighted I did. It's like everything happens for a reason, that the clubs were late, and then the driver came and it was broken, and all of a sudden now I have no choice but to put this Ping driver in, and I added the new 3-wood and the hybrid as well, and fortunately for me, they were the perfect fit, and out here you need to drive the ball well, you need to hit the fairway. The rough is really thick, so if you're not hitting the fairways, you're going to be struggling, and luckily for me it all worked out. So
how did going through that episode before your first start at a professional tournament maybe add to the nerves you were facing throughout the week?
It was a little bit frustrating, but Gary, my coach and my caddy, said, this is just, don't let this be another distraction. At the end of the day, there's nothing you can do about it. And there was nothing I could have done about it. So there's no point stressing about it, because it's not going to change anything. So that was kind of how we looked at it. And, I think it's the right way to look at it, because there was nothing we could do about it. The clubs were late, they weren't going to be there, and then the driver was broken. And we couldn't change it. So there was just nothing else. There's no point worrying about something that you've no control over.
In your very similar position to your teammate Ingrid Lindblad from last year, did you talk to her at all ahead of this week for any advice playing the U.S. Women's Open? I
did, yeah. I kind of just asked her how things work, how many tickets we get and all this. And I'd love for Ingrid to have been here as well. She's just gone world number 1. But I'm delighted, go Tigers and all that.
Anya, could you just talk about how it is taking everything in your first pro event, let alone a major? Your coach was kind of saying you've been a little starstruck here and there, seeing some of your favorite players you've watched growing up.
Yeah, the whole thing's been a bit surreal, to be honest. It's all, nearly every 5 minutes, it's like a pinch me moment. Even just walking to the putting green and, young girls asking for autographs and stuff, and it's like, that was me. And to do it at a place like Pebble Beach is, something I'll never forget. And on Tuesday I played 18 holes at Annika, and honestly it's one of the best days of my life. You can learn a lot from her, and she at the end of the day, she's the icon of the game, the GOAT of the game. That was really, even just to play 18 holes at Annika, and then at the US, in a practice round for the US Women's Open at Pebble Beach, is just, the whole thing has kind of been like a pinch me moment. And I can't thank, my coach Gary enough, my college coaches Alexis and Garrett, my parents. I wouldn't be here without a lot of them. My teammates at LSU, I hope they're watching. And all the people who've helped me get here, I wouldn't be here without them.
Is there anything that Annika said to you during that practice round that stuck with you?
Yeah, actually, this one really stuck with me. I asked her on one of the holes, I said, how many US Opens have you won? And she said, 3. And I goes to her husband, very casual, just 3, That would be the one thing, she's so down to earth. One of the most down to earth people, and, just her way of even just speaking to people, and, she was just as nice to me as she was to my parents, as she is to probably every other professional on the tour. It's like nobody's above anybody else, and, just that, even just how she socializes with people, I learned a lot from.
Anya, you talked about having so much support. How much does that mean to you to have that out here today, to have your coaches and family out here?
Yeah, incredible, and the crowd kind of kept getting bigger as I kept going. But even just when I held out, there's a huge cheer, and there wasn't that many of my fans, my family and friends here. And then, I was walking on to the 7th, my third last hole, and so all I hear is, "Oh, well done, Anya." And then I look over and it's guys wearing big Irish jersey. You know, obviously there's a lot of Irish in San Francisco, and a lot of them came out today, and I'd be hoping to see a lot more tomorrow because it does help. It really does help. You know, it kind of the cheers kind of just spur you on a little bit, and no, it's great.
Was there any feeling of like playing back home in Ireland, playing out here with the layout at Pebble?
Yeah, it is. It's a little bit like links. It's not exactly like it, but just in terms of even wind, like I loved playing the wind. I'd actually like if the wind would pick up a little bit. Like the qualifier I played to get into this, it was extremely windy. And I tend to play better in the wind. Yeah, it's a little bit like it in terms of as well, its distance. And for example, on the 7th hole today, it was about 110 and it was kind of against the wind and you kind of had to flight it down, which I think is a great thing for me that I'm able to do that in the wind. And I've heard the wind is going to pick up again throughout the week. So in that sense, like growing up in Ireland and playing courses in Ireland has really helped.
Was there any conversation you had after your bogey start to settle into the day?
Not really, to be honest. Just keep plodding away, you know. The second hole, the first hole I just missed a short putt, and then the second hole, if I was a yard further, it would have been really close, and it just went into the bunker. So I made 2 really good up and downs on my third and fourth hole, which kind of made me a bit more comfortable, and then to hole out was kind of made me really enjoy it then after that, because I was a little bit kind of scared I was going to go really high there after my start, but you know, it wouldn't be the first time I've gone bogey, and it won't be the last to start. So,
Last question. What did you know about Pebble Beach before you came here? And what was your greatest challenge out there today?
I've been here before. I was in the kind of San Francisco area, and I came down with one of my friends from back home and her uncle, and we went for lunch here and stuff. But it was kind of dark at Pebble. But just even walking around when it was dark was amazing. And I got a woolly hat from the shop, Pebble Beach. That was nearly 2.5 years ago now. And I mean, everyone knows what Pebble Beach is like. You play it on simulators all the time. You see so many iconic shots from the pros out here. And that's what my thoughts were. I knew it was going to be difficult. US Women's Open, they're not going to set it up that easy. And the most difficult thing out there was just staying focused, keeping with it, you know, not getting ahead of myself, you know, playing until the very end. And, you know, just even when I went 1 under through 9, my plan was to keep going, you know, don't be happy at 1 under, keep trying to make more birdies and, keep with it. And luckily for me today, you know, it kind of all fell into place.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.